Hello, this is Greg Alson, Green Greg. It's coming to you on the 14th of April, 2021. I don't believe we've had a more precarious situation in the world since the Cuban Missile Crisis than what we have today. Right now, as we speak, the Chinese and American navies are basically squared off facing each other in the South China Sea over the Watson Reef. Concerns over Taiwan are going up. Just Monday, this past Monday, the Chinese, not Chinese People's Liberation Army Air Force, whatever they call it, actually put a record number of aircraft in the air, 25 in the air defense identification zone of Taiwan. And not only that, we just learned that they actually did a dry run practice attack on apparently a U.S. carrier. That would be the only carrier in the region is the Roosevelt. But there's also the John McCain that they admitted to tracking, which is a destroyer. So I believe they're tracking everything, though. So that was their admission. Apparently, that was the one closest to Taiwan. And also, the United States and China and Russia are all warning each other. They're all mouthing very serious warnings, including yesterday, the Chinese and the Russians both gave us warnings simultaneously, like at the same time, to stay out of Taiwan and the Ukraine. Makes you really wonder if when the Russians move into the Ukraine, if China's going to move into Taiwan. Are they going to tie them together to try to tie us up so we won't know which way to go, so that we'll be in total pandemonium, confusion? Oh yeah, by the way, we're sending B-50. We're sending the B-2 bombers into Europe right now. So guys, extra ones just for what's going on in the Ukraine. So even though the Ukraine is not a NATO member, President Biden has pledged some unwavering support, whatever that means. So we are in very precarious times right now, very precarious times. Hopefully nothing to come of this. Pray that nothing comes of this. My friends, now's the time to prepare. If you're not prepared, or if you got any chance to get your preparations a little more shored up, there is no prepper that can't make things a little better in some means. Do it. Do it now. I don't know how much time we got. Hopefully we got the rest of our lives, but we might not have but a few days. I don't know what's coming, guys, but right now things are not looking good. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel and bang the notification bell, because I'm going to bring you more stories like this. This is part of my series to keep your eyes wide open and head on a swivel so that you know what's coming at you. And furthermore, this fits in the proposition my channel to help you survive, thrive, and stay out of the hive. I know that's going to be perhaps a challenge. So I do a lot of good videos. You can see on many topics, from gardening to worm farming to these kind of topics about what's going on in the world, wild edibles, so you can get stuff free from the weeds and the trees. But also that may not be enough, especially right now. You need to get ready. So I've got a special right now. If you go to prepwithgreg.com, you can get $200 off a 3-month supply of 25-year-long lasting food. This is 2,000 calories a day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It includes desserts and drinks. The deal to make you a winner. Go to prepwithgreg.com. This is an awesome deal, and it's got nice little carry pouches that you can. They're nice sizes, unlike some competitors that are twice as big. That is 4 servings. Why would you want anything bigger than that? And the carrying pouches are a lot easier to carry than a lot of the competitor pouches. And my friends, you simply can't beat My Patriot Supply as a source supply materials. So go to prepwithgreg.com. And if you click on the My Patriot Supply star, it will take you in to all kind of other prepping supplies, which you really need to consider getting right now. You need to prep up. Also, there's a special $50 off for 2-week supply. So check all that out, and let's get in with it. I'm going to share some articles with you again, and we're going to try to go through this real fast today. I've got many other things cooking, and I know I wanted to do this yesterday, and I just didn't have time. Too many irons in the fire, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. China live drilled attacks on U.S. carrier while sending record warplanes into Taiwan's airspace. When was this? Monday. Hey, I want one of those. So anyway, this is what they're talking. Che Chung, a fellow researcher, this fellow at Association of Strategic Foresight in Taipei, Taiwan, told news a week that Chinese warplanes likely took an opportunity to run a simulated attack on the U.S. carrier. All right, so guys, this is some of the runs they were making here. This is that the identification zone what we were talking about. The and air defense. That's the air defense identification zone. That line is. So it's talking about the Roosevelt, I believe, in here somewhere. So these actions can reflect continued PLA attempt to use its military as a tool to intimidate, coerce, or those operating in international waters. You know, which there are international waters. I'm not going to go through and read all this stuff. What I'm going to do, I'm going to flip the articles real fast. Okay, China conducts combat exercise on Taiwan Strait as Biden envoys arrive. Now, this is right now. Right now, they're conducting these military exercises, trying to be threatening to our envoys that are in Taiwan right now. So, China had this to say: we resolutely oppose U.S. exaggeration of the so-called Chinese military threat. Really? Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Flying 25 warplanes, including some are nuclear critical, around Taiwan is not a threat. Okay, if they're not a threat, quit flying them. There's only one thing that gives me solace in this photograph. If this is the war faces of the People's Liberation Army, is this guy's war face? Is that guy's war face? He looks like he's got to go potty, and he looks like he's already been. And he's mad because he smells it. I don't know, guys. That don't really fit my definition of war faces. But hey, these are little emperors, and that they're the only child of their parents. So, that might be our saving grace here, guys, if we get anything protracted with them. U.S. warns China over aggressive moves on Philippines and Taiwan. We are warning them. Armed attack against the Philippines armed forces, public vessels, or aircraft in the Pacific, including the South China Sea, will trigger our obligations under the U.S.-Philippines Mutual Defense Treaty. I don't know how mutual that defense is. If somebody comes over here and attacks the United States, is Philippines going to chime in and save the day for us? We share the concerns of our Philippine allies regarding the continued massing of PRC maritime militia during the White Sung Beach, or referring to the White Sung Beach. But yeah, near the White Sung Beach. So there they are, guys. This is what they're talking about. Now look at this. This map here is very instructive. You see these blue lines here? These blue lines, like right here, this is everything inside this blue line is it within the legal treaty, UN Law of the Sea Treaty, considered exclusive economic zone of the Philippines. And these belong to these other countries. You see these big areas out here? But China has just gone right up against the shore almost and claimed big scoops of this territory. And here's the Spratly Islands that are very much in contest. See, the Philippines is a nation of islands, and so are these other countries, especially the Philippines. So, yeah, this is way inside, taking up almost all of the exclusive economic zone of these countries. And that's what this dash line is doing. And at one time they called it the 9 dash line, for whatever good that is. But just to give you some perspective of what China's doing, and this is way, their exclusive zone would be right here, and yet they're claiming all of this and passing laws saying they can shoot anybody else in that area if they're choosing. So on Tuesday, Russia's Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov warned President Joe Biden's administration against getting involved in the Ukraine amid Russian forces massing on the Ukraine border. Also on Tuesday, same day, Chinese Foreign Minister Zhao Lijiang warned Biden administration against getting involved in Taiwan. Same day, they both came out with the same kind of statements. Did they coordinate that? Well, considering how they work together, I would think that might be a likely prospect that they coordinated that. Rabkov went on to say, We warned the United States that it would be better for them to stay far away from Crimea and our Black Sea coast. It will be for their own good. And you know, so they're saying we're playing with fire. I should come back to this in the future broadcast, maybe on just yeah. It so happens that the media out of Russia are saying that it's a war with the United States over Ukraine is inevitable. I'll have to publish that and then the follow-up video. But I'm going to go to the it probably is, unless something breaks loose, I'm probably going to cover Israel and Iran next. The Taiwan question raises concerns. The Taiwan question concerns China's sovereignty, territorial integrity, and core interests. There is zero room. There is zero room for compromise, and not an inch to give. This is Zhao. This is what Zhao said, and this is Mr. Zhao Lilang. It's this guy right here, the Chinese foreign minister. So he's the guy that's supposed to speak for China to foreign countries. Again, he says that the question concerns China's sovereignty. Well, you don't claim sovereignty over an independent nation. See, that's what they're doing. Territorial integrity. They're claiming that this independent nation, Taiwan, is in their territory, and core interest. Whatever we think our core interests are, you can define that as anything. But this is disturbing. There is zero room for compromise and not an inch to give. We urge the U.S. side to grasp the situation, earnestly abide by the one China principle and the 3 China-U.S. joint communiques, refrain from playing with fire, immediately stop contact with Taiwan in any form, prudentially, and properly handle Taiwan-related issues, and avoid sending any wrong signals to the Taiwan independence forces, lest it should shake the foundations of the U.S.-Chinese relationship and peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait. And that is coded way of saying, hey, you risk us invading, attacking. So there you go, my friends. There we go. And there's more from Russia about a powder keg over there. So it just goes on and on and on that. Boom. But look at this, guys. See, Chinese, Philippines, White Sun Reef dispute could get worse as U.S. chips in. And there's those nice little innocent civilian fishing vessels. Pretty formidable looking ships to me. I've been out the ocean and utility boats, and they weren't near as formidable looking as these guys. And so there's that. But look at this, guys. Here's what I'm going to show you. Look, here's pictures of what's out in the sea in the area. You see, guys, that is the aircraft carrier of China. That's their main aircraft carrier, right? And these are Americans sitting here with their feet popped up on their gun walls, just looking at that thing. So, wow, this thing just passing right by us. You know, I'm sure they're ready to spring into action if they need to. They got an eyeball on it. But that is close. That is real close. But to give you an idea, here's a couple of ships that split off in that group, heading up the Taiwan Strait, because it was in the South China Sea. Here are ships identified by satellite photographs, all in close proximity to each other. That's what I'm saying, guys. We're in the thick of it down there. They are, we are, and we're right up against each other, right at each other's throats. We're facing off to each other. So I'm gonna stop that share. Bang. That's it, guys. You know, even if nobody's intended to cause bang bangs, it could inadvertently happen. It could escalate, misunderstandings, miscommunications. There's a lot of room for error, but there also may be room. There may be cause involved, because it really looks like Russia's wanting to do something. It looks like they're just itching for an excuse to jump, and if they can't find one, they might just invent one. Russia is out saying that, you know, war with the United States over Ukraine is inevitable. It means they don't care what the consequences are. They want Ukraine so bad they're willing to risk a war with us. That if they're saying that, then they're either bluffing real hard, or they consider us a paper tiger. And for some reason, they think we won't use our ICBMs and other similar weapon systems. It's a lot to bank on. That's a lot to bank on. Not to mention that some of the forces in Ukraine are pointing out that that there may be nuclear weapons in Crimea right now. Of course, that may be just them talking. But that's just it. There's a lot of misperceptions, miscommunications, a lot of stuff going on right now. We're not in a good time. This is not a good time. And then we have troubles right here at home. I mean, we got cities burning at home again. Inflation is about to go through the roof. Food prices are going to increase. There's several things that are putting pressure on food prices. So that's one reason you need to get this stuff while you can, while we still have the deals on it, while it's still affordable. Get it while you can, as much as you can. Go buy the dried beans and dried rice too. And get seeds. Plant your own garden. Start growing your own food. Get independent. Get where you can stand on your own 2 legs for the long term. You've only got so many freedom seeds and bang bangs that you can use to go procuring food. And only go so far. But when you can grow and save the seeds and regrow and save the seeds and regrow, you can feed yourself and your family for a long time to come. So check my link out to Tree Leaf Market also. You need to look at all these things right now. This is planting time right now. You need to look at all these things. Get yourself ready. Practice your skills. Practice the skills at prepping. Go camping. Do things. Go hiking. Look at your bug out plans. Look at your bug in plans. Make sure they're all executable in short order if the grid goes down. What do you do if there's no, the streets are running wild? How do you get where you got to go? How do you secure your place yourself at home? Do you have other people to stand in with you? Do you have your own little miniature survival tribe? Somebody to have your back when you're asleep or when you're sick and they're still pounding your door in. All right, my friends. I hope we can get through this. I hope these things don't come to pass, but it looks way too likely. Get ready. That's all I'm gonna say. Be ready in your heart, your mind, and your soul. Get right with your Creator. Be right with your family. Do as much as you can to provide for your family and yourself, your friends and your neighbors. Oh yeah, hey, maybe just stop buying tools for gardening. Buy a few extra seeds. If you can help them grow, they'll be eating that instead of you. We hope. All right, my friends. So I know you watched it this far. I said, Greg, I don't want my neighbors to eat me. Or I don't want to be eating my neighbor, something like that. Oh, well. Let's have some peace, guys. Remember, reach out to other people with love. Because as light dispels dark, love dispels hate. Be the love light to the world. Thank y'all for watching.